illegal. IALEGAL. Illegal. People who should not be here in this country. Our people are registering for those people. What they don't know. In Togi concept, where is a fronting? Sebasa city ugupore. How o register la motho o iketsa o kare wena o le mustand. We get o kare wena business owner. O tlo attracta sales. It's only bona ka o fela ga lona go buiti la. Go buiti le to pallo go buiti. Because of dintu tla be sa tsholetsa lona. I get la papa le ba di 100 rand. Di 150. So we are here to register to say South Africans ke kopa le ganeng ka lona. Ke kopa re ganeng ka rona. Ke kopa re reng ra khona. Ke kopa re reng re tlo khona. Ke kopa re reng ko president ya rona. Whose president are you? O president ya bo mang? Because of Kirna re votang. Mara it looks like o lwanela batho ba ba mara sa ba itseng. O phala rona. So the constitution is for the people of the Republic of South Africa. Ke a le kopa bagolo. Le ska fela moya. You must fight. You must fight for our country. Bagolo ba rona ba ilwanetse lefatsheng. Batho ba ne ba tlhokofala. I'm sure if history could tell, I'm sure Remodi Muhammadi as we stand here. Remodi Muhammadi. Re ka se palle ke government ya apartheid. Pre khon. E be re to palla ke e rona re boketseng. So nna ke le Lerato Ngobeni, here's my pledge. Whether ke one or re two or lan supporter or la per di kipa because di krele mahala, I'm going to fight for this issue. A ke na taba gore ke a supportiwe or a ke supportive. A ke na taba gore la re supporta or a le re support. This is the right fight to fight. Anything that is built on truth and justice can never fade. The same way we fought for our capacity to end. Anything that is built on truth and justice can never fade. And lerato la rona for South Africa, a se le tshwaela batho ba bang. He le gore batho re tella ka mogwa re tellang ka teng. A ba tsamaya di weapon tsa bona di AK tsa bona ba lwantsha di government tsa bona. Ha bonse di government tsa bona for ba kgona. Ba se ba ka mo ba tsore ba tlo re thina ba re thina ka di AK tsa bona ba re blella gore they are going to march to our president's house. Okay, ka di 16. But on the 16th, they are going to march to the president's house and to Nelson Mandela Foundation. Here's what I want to tell you. Number one, Hene ba rekela ntate Mandela ntse ba re reketsa tela Mandela le Krasa Mashaba ba reketseng. Nanya re sa dule ko. We didn't live in that house. They must go to the Mandela family and demand their money. That's number one. Number two, they must march to the president's residence. President Matamela Cyril Ramaphosa. You know why? Can the president please tell us for batho ba re ba kolota bokae? Re kgone go ba patela. Ba kgone go re fa moya. Re batla go hema. Re batla di volume tsa rona tsa December ha re di isa ko di. Be di utlweng. Re lapile. Ke dilo tse re sa di tlhaloganyeng gore ga teng. And so, any country that has ever been liberated has been assisted by another country. Zimbabwe was assisted by Mozambique. Mugabe, irile ha Mozambique when Rhodesia ended. When Mugabe gained Zimbabwe and changed and said, it is now Zimbabwe and not Rhodesia. He stayed to Mozambique. Raleboga will take it from here. So Rona struggle se gating mar thuste ka so. Pakistan ba ga itse thuste ka eng during the struggle. Bangladesh ir thuste ka eng ka apartheid. I just want to understand. South Africa. Ke kopa le laeteng mabone. Ke kopa le tlogeleng go ba meek le go ba calm. Ke bana ba rona ba tlhokofalang. And just because ha go so tlhokofale ngwana o nna ke mo ntshitseng mo mpeng, it doesn't mean gore a wa tshwanela go feel anything. And if you don't feel anything, as a woman o nang le popelo, as a father o nang le peo, shame on you. Shameful you. Natemnisi walla siyabonga hayo. South Africa. Ba re tshega. Ba I-organize, ba ikupa. Ba kgona gore bontsha gore there are 1 million and plus 5 million. Okay, ya re ba tlhalosetseng. If bona, they are 5 million. I get high South Africa has got 60 whatever millions. It means, let's say bona there are 10 million. Let's say, I ring my 10, I can reach by again. Was back in a we are 50 million. 50. Our canceling Makhoa. We are 40 million. So really 40 million, recapal like 1-2 million. I can look it. Already paid it. So the last thing I want to say is this. Ba re ba tsile ko ba tswang go teng because they are economic migrants. Ba tshabile gore go na le tlala ko ba tswang go teng. Le nonne mo South Africa. Laja. Ore le mo Savannah. Ke bone go na le new one Savannah needs. Or Savannah is sharp. Le nonne. You are unemployed. So you are equally economic migrant. So little abo guy hey dom. Yeah, if you are unable to fight, Zimbabwe empty ena bata ba re fona letala. Bona ba tsa ba khokolo ha kere ba tswa go di Ethiopia ba tla. Una le DRDP. And then no le ba ke lona abuti. Rena lanto eo. So lona atala if itile wontate o something ba re tlamele. Roya kae? Akiti loya malaw. So we must fight for our country, colleagues. And then finally, Mosaidu was South Africa. My child, my daughter, my sister, my mother. Please, 100 randa is not worth it. For this land that our forefathers, our forebears, our mothers, our fathers, our great grand fought for this land. Please don't sell your soul for 100 rand. So we're going to fight this fight. Lapere Spaza for locals. It's not just Spaza attack shop. Re ka mnotho le ruo wa South Africa. Please fight for yourself. Please arhanen garone. Please let us tell our president and put him on notice. For if he doesn't want to be our president, he must tell us so that we can put somebody else who is for us, who is going to say to the people of this nation, I am here and I'm going to fight for you. Our president is unfortunately not that guy. Ar amukheli. I'm very sorry to give you bad news. And for those of you who are just wearing the t-shirt because of Pachita today, and we are just getting the t-shirt, know for this is not just an ActionSA fight. This is a South African fight. This is a fight for the soul of South Africa, and particularly for the soul of Soweto, because most children had died here in Soweto. So, I just wanted to say these things because they are very, very, very important. And we are fighting in parliament, but we can't fight alone. I want us to recognize our president, Dr. Herman Mashaba, who is here, a fighter of note. A fighter of note. He is the one.
President Mashaba is the one.
Aya, abuwa. Aya, kan jafila. Lapis Dr. Mashaba. Kupalisa ko le betere.
Kukawang.
Yeah, I think that Dr. Narva Kergi Kipa Felorial. Dr. Mashaba is one of the first people when he was the mayor of this city to talk about the fact that finally expired goods. Khona le dilo tse leng gore di na di poison. And mo nakong e tlang re tlo bona se re se bonang ka jeko. Sekgowa se re forewarned is forearmed. 2016 nahanang 2016 when Dr. Mashaba warned us about this particular matter. That is why I say to you, only one or Libabedi, he fought this fight by himself. And today look at us, Remojoini. And we are happy and very proud to be part of this movement. I really want you guys, Korlefe Dr. Mashaba Mahofu. This man is very brave. This man, this name epitomizes. He is our current Lademakuna. Malumaka, by the way. Can I just floss? By Loko Basantan Bapiela. Dr. Mashaba thought for Hoko Valibo Mashaba by 100 by now, after 30 years of democracy. But we are still talking about Mashaba Herman. It's sad that we are still talking about Mashaba Herman when we should be talking about Mashaba 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 50 and 100. We are still talking about Mashaba 1. I'm hoping for among us here, we are now going to realize Mashaba 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 up until 100. Please give our president a double return.
Ni.
Viva Lerata Ngoweni, viva! Viva! Spazas for local, viva! All right, colleagues, you've heard. I just want to share something with you guys. Yesterday we went to visit, to show you that we are under siege as a country. And you must never take it for granted. Don't take this much for granted. We are under siege as a country. Yesterday we went to visit a family in Ditnis. They've lost a child. To what? No, that's nothing, my brother. There's 2 kids that died this week. The one died on Friday. Went missing on Friday. They found the body next to Pakete December on Saturday. Then some of you are renting your houses to these people. So we need to fight, colleagues. So we need to chuck them out of our yards because we can't have criminals in our yards. So in the space of a month, we've lost 4 kids. 4 kids in the proof. So enough is enough. So we are going to call our honorable, also a member of parliament. So we're going to call our honorable Daralyn James. Let me tell you, colleagues, issues tamaponisa. You've got issues with SAPs, right? We escalate, right? We've seen her going to police stations and sometimes she gets hostile perception, right? Because we know Urwetsa lying in some of our police station. But she's persistent because this is a fight that ActionSA is going to win. We are going to fix this country. All of us.
Thank you so much. Good morning, everyone. Good morning to my favorite. Herman Mashaba. Good morning to all our activists. Where's my fellow colleague Narato? Good morning to you. I'm not going to be long. The sun is hot here today. But what I want to say is it's easy serving under the ActionSA banner. And it's easy serving under an ActionSA banner that puts politics second and puts people first. And that is what I appreciate because you know that the heart of the founder of our President Herman Mashaba always says, number 1 is the people of this country. That always comes first. And you can see it unfolding here today. I want to reflect on the last couple of years. And as an anti-drug and social activist, I want to say that for this government, it's always too much, too late. We always want to see the pictures of our children on the front pages of the newspapers before we act. We have been seeing this thing coming on for many years. These Spaza shops are in violation of so many laws. It is not just the contaminated food and the contaminated snacks that they sell to our children. It is also the fact that they sell these over-the-counter medicines to our children. It is also the fact that they participate and they aid our children in dropping out of school because they sell codeine at these shops. They sell codeine and the children put it in their cool drink and they use what we call lean. It's a form of drug. And this is why I'm so supportive of this campaign, because I know that it's not just the contaminated food. I know that when we take this step and when we elevate and raise our voices against these foreign nationals leaving our communities, it is also a step closer to having communities free of substance abuse.
Yes.
They sell all sorts of violence. They sell codeine. They sell contaminated food. Our children are dropping out of school. They sell cigarettes to underage children. And that is our kids. So at this point, I was very pleased a couple of weeks ago, because when it comes to these things, you need to be firm and you need to be unapologetic, because you're going to get resistance when you change, when you take a step forward towards change. And what I love, what came from that meeting, President, is when you said, it is time that we put South Africans first. And I was saying this, if they call us xenophobic, it's all right, it's okay. Call us what you want for the sake of our children. We are prepared to be called all sorts of names. Rather now than to wait until our children are 6 foot under. Just yesterday or the day before, a child died in the community of Riverlea. Also, because of contaminated foods. Our children are spending most of the mornings in my community standing in front of these shops, because sometimes they keep the drugs for the drug dealers at these shops. We even have reports in our communities where they're selling firearms to our children. It is time that we reclaim our communities. And what happens when we reclaim our communities? Our children that exit, that comes back into our communities as part of reintegration, they then get to be employed within the community. If we can train and equip all of those children that comes from drugs and that says they go into drugs because they don't have jobs and opportunities, if we can absorb them now and use this opportunity to empower them to run their own Spaza shops in the communities, we are a step closer to having drug-free communities. Lerato, where are you? I support this campaign, President, wholeheartedly, because I know what this campaign means to the mothers and the families affected by substance abuse, over and beyond the contaminated goods that they sell to our children. There's so many reasons why these shops needed to be closed years ago. They are in violation of so many bylaws. Not just the contaminated food, not just selling drugs to our children. They're buildings that they build over pipes, the stealing of electricity, the violation of the health regulations. So they decant the food, decanting sugar to sell a packet of 5 rand sugar, to sell you 2 tea bags for the sake of convenience and because of the high poverty and unemployment levels in our communities. And this is why we keep coming back. So when we say close those shops, best we come up with a replacement on how better we can serve our communities. You might be paying 5 rand for a packet of sugar. You might be paying 2.50 rand to have a cup of coffee, but that could possibly be your last cup of coffee. I thank you.
Colleagues, you heard it all. So without wasting time, so I'm going to call Leader Monica to just come and explain to us, Grand, what is the purpose of us being here? Please explain to us, why did you call all of us? Why did we mobilize the colleagues to come here? What is the purpose? Why are we here today, Leader Monica? So the stage is yours.
President Herman Mashaba. President Herman Mashaba. Now lead to the spirit of ActionSA. Long live. Long live. To good. Long live. Long live. Akesibonge leadership. Protocol observed. Mamisho. Protocol observed. Subweek. Okulandelana kwe. Akesibonge leader ukuthi usihloniphe. Akesibonge ukuthi usabele. Usukume. Uzolwela izwe lokhokho bethu. It cannot continue that we are spectators of our own economy. A South African can't even sell a vegetable now. The economy has been taken over by non-tax-paying people. Imali yethu bayifaka emasaleni iphume in the country without paying tax. Tina, we think if we keep reprinting money, we are okay. No. Lele mali kono. Wathi nani nokuyibona icoke. Fake coke ekas. No. Ngoba sebezenzela icoke laba. Wathi nani ubona umuntu evula i20 yecoke. Do you know why? Because the cigarette that is business market in the country. They need them as a submarine. Iphuma imali ye-country, submarine. Abantu abasebenza ukubharisonyishiwe baqoshiwe. Ngoba icoke ayisathengwa. Sekuthengwa icoke mbumbulu. Fake coke. Sekuthengwa isigarette engena illegal in the country. Anisana semasaluni. Mampela. Seniyahamba nezinwele ne-products e-fake. Ezishinto. Let me. Nangokela bakutshela. Precise, Revlon. Ama-products emile wahamba. Amakhulu azenzela i-product. Bayifaka emabhaketheni. Wena mawungena uthi ufuna i-Revlon. Wenza inwele ne-products e-fake. In the long run, we are going to have a skin cancer. Angithi nelapha emikukwini. Anisayi emasaluni. Obani abangana ngamasaluni la. Besekukuphila. What's up me? Angithi ngiyakaba private la. It cannot continue like that. I was moved. Zize zishone ngengane imiphefumulo ngakala. Abantwana bafeza amaphela. And we must say it's okay. It's fine. Niyabuga. Manje said, we go take a makule. But you are here, you are utsmara valu. But we are here, I'm saying you sing wala. What the event the man? La, they're running a Spaza, but never tell the land in the pool. It has been hijacked. We are calling it a local economy. But the locals are not benefiting from that economy. Who is the local? You are a local. Local. What you are that? 30 years later, they've made profit, those people. They have cars. They have houses. Banabantwana futhi South Africa. Illegally. Yebabashi. Hayibo bakithi. Akesukumeni. Hayibo, let this madness come to an end. And it is true ActionSA that we are going to stand politically bravely so. Uguti, lay on nonsense I've heard. Doing is Sizoka look back, Komas. We have applied for this match. Aguna, Muntolo, Tubula Bullet. We are going to close that road. And it will be known that ActionSA was here. Straight. We are going to those offices where the shenanigans, the corruption and nonsense is happening. And they will know that we were there. Mapele maji, siyama sibuyele ekhaya. A mark has been left by ActionSA. Dekani-ke ukuvotela igebengu nginandaba nani. Le igebengu nisivotelayo lidabasala. Encourage your community to get rid of the criminals. I want you to know the African national criminals. It is no longer a Congress that thing. You people are criminal. Long story cut short, I guess bonge leadership that you're here, Sizopuma, just after our president speaks. So for this part, tell utulele South Africa. Utulele ngane shonile. Hayibo, bonga ukuthi akafiki kuwe. One of these children could be one of yours. Bonga. Angithi yabo abadla love joy bakhona bethu. Basaphila. Nabo bashonile senzeleni bona. Akekho umntwana ekufuneka azalwe, akhuliswe bese ayangcwatshwa umzali wakhe. Umntwana kufuneka azalwe, akhuliswe bese engcwaba umzali wakhe. Amakula ejikile yento. They are killing our future. They are selling drugs. Now they are selling poison. And you are still holding your hands. You are saying it's okay. You even call them my friend.
How are you?
People who are keeping your children. Every morning throughout the day, when you see them, you say, how are you, my friend? It is because even the drug dealers, who are your neighbors, your children, your brothers, it's a normal business day. Tell us so men, Baba Bagit. Now,
All right, now that we know Uguti why we're here, so we are going to ask our provincial secretary, to Evelyn, to come and welcome our president. Leader Evelyn Pa. Leader Evelyn Pa.
Viva! Viva Spaza for locals in South Africa, viva! They are taking back the economy of Spaza's viva! Dumelang Sanbonani Absheni. I am here to introduce our president, the brand ambassador of illegal immigrants must go home and build their countries and participate in the economy of their countries. So I'm not going to waste time, colleagues. We are running short of time. I will just call upon the president to come and talk to us, give us a mandate about how are we going to proceed and why are we here to champion the issue of Spaza for locals. Leadership.
Milan Soweto, good morning, fellow South Africans. Madla and your team, our team from the caucus, our two members of parliament present here this morning, thank you so much, but in particular you, the activists of Soweto. I know you're here because you've got nothing to do. You're here because you're concerned about the direction our country has taken. 1994, 30 years into a democratic dispensation, our country is under attack. We thought for many years, some of us, I lived half of my life under an evil system of apartheid that deprived me as a black man opportunities to compete like everybody else. And 30 years ago, in 1994, when I went to go and vote on the 27th of April, 1994, I thought to myself, I was voting to see an explosion of black talent. Here am I 30 years down the line. It truly and deeply pains me. Gibona, the unemployment rate in our communities. It pains me deeply every time I go in any community, anywhere in the country. I see our youth being destroyed by drug dealers because drug cartels have identified South Africa to be their capital, the epicenter of drug dealers from Mexico, from Nigeria, Pakistan, and everywhere else. But now we're sitting in the situation which I warned South Africa back in 2016, 1st of December 2016. I said to South Africa, if you are not careful, if you are not going to arrest this evil, you are going to pay a big price. And now just tell me, just in the last 2 months, how many kids have we lost? Just here in Soweto, over 22. How many more kids do we have to die before we stand up and say enough is enough? We refuse to stand up when Maburu no Barbolaya. But now we are allowing aliens to come into this country. Aliens come into this country and kill us. And the people are telling us we must be okay with this. I don't know, you are lazy. I'm sure Laibala every time in the media, you are lazy. You don't want to work. You don't value family. And those are the things that actually drives me. They drive me mad. They drive me completely mad. Because when did our people start over lazy? Our people want to work, want to be given opportunities. But this ANC government has allowed our borders to be open so that those who are beneficiaries of this criminality can hire criminals so that Baskeva respect the laws of our country. Because for us as South Africans, we got liberated in 1994. In 1996, a constitution was passed, which was hailed as the best constitution in the world. And what is actually even more painful is that this constitution was led by our current president. He went all over the world telling the world, South Africa has got the best constitution in the world. Are South African people benefiting out of it? Who's benefiting out of this? People from Kazakhstan, from Pakistan, from Nigeria. Yesterday alone, we had an issue. We had 2 surprises. The whole day, South Africans actually could not believe the president there who relaxed visa restrictions for Nigerians. Yeah. At the same time, when the whole entire world is saying no, Nigerians must be difficult for them to come into their country. Our own president, despite the fact there's an outcry by South Africans, he says, no. It must be easy for you to come to South Africa. To come and do what? How did Rwanda, before Rwanda, how change its cabinet? He said, what just 2 weeks ago, 2 or 3 weeks ago, stands in front of our country after so many cries and pleas by South Africans to say, Mr. President, please, our children are being killed by this illegal foreign Spaza Shops. Took you 3 weeks before you come and address us. And other address, don't even take questions. What address Amola family meet you? Over 21 days to register. But are you aware when you have made this announcement, not a single municipality was given the background to how they must register this people? At 21 days, you have in a few days' time. Municipalities, go and ask the municipality of Johannesburg,
or anywhere else in the country. They don't know what to do because they were never pre-warned. No proclamation was issued by the president so that when you register, you know how to register. Because the laws of this country are very specific. That's why in 2016, when I was the mayor, I used the constitution to challenge this. Because before that, anyone who raised the issue of illegal foreigners would be called xenophobia. But they did not dwell in Korea. You deal with Herman Mashaba, you deal with state. The more you insult me, the more you call me names, the more you make me actually realize, so Herman, you've got something going here. You've got something going here. Because I realized these are the beneficiaries of this criminality, and I'm not going to allow it. But obviously, I was running a municipality. I needed the support of the Metro Police. I needed the support of the National Prosecuting Authority. I needed the support of South African police services. I needed prisons. You remember when I was the mayor of the city of Johannesburg, I used to complain and ask Parliament to say, please, municipality like Johannesburg, as big as it is, give us our right to prosecute these criminals. Give us prisons, we'll put them in prisons. We don't have to worry, just give us the permission. We'll get them to build the prisons themselves. Unfortunately, 3 years later, I was forced to leave to vacate office because I was representing the DA at the time, and the DA did not like to see you advance. And I said to them, you can keep your mayorship, and I left. And you guys then forced me to live my comfortable life to come and do this brutal work. But a job that I hate, and people don't understand every time when I tell them I hate this job. This job cost me a lot of money and time. My friends and their colleagues in business today, I go to golf course, Korba travel the world. Now look at this. Kimolis are seeing what 32, 33 degrees. Fighting for our people, because I don't want to live side by side with man-made poverty, because there's poverty that our people are suffering to pay. It's a man-made one. And it's the one thing that I believe, what man breaks, man can fix. And I can tell you and I are going to fix this problem. And the only way we're going to fix it is to be uncompromising. We must be unrelenting. We must be steadfast in our fight to say, whether it's going to take us 6 months, whether it's going to take us a year, whether it's going to take us whatever time. But one thing for sure, this matter, we are going to solve it. Because what we are going to do today is going to send a message out there that there's economy in the townships belong to our people. There's economy in our communities does not belong to people coming from Pakistan and other places in the world. Here in this country in the first place. Did they bring money into our country? But we see them opening shops. Yes, the bus have brought money in one form or another. But do you know how that money came through? Did not come through the Reserve Bank. Only the president of this country can tell us, because he's one of the experts of bringing money through mattresses. Because that money did come through the Reserve Bank. I'm sure you would know the Reserve Bank confirmed it. So he's the only one in that network, in that circle, that knows how to bring money through mattresses and sofas. And how that money also leaves our country, doesn't live through the Reserve Bank. Are you aware, as you're buying from these people, you're supporting terrorism in the world? Because this money comes from terrorist organization into this country through mattresses, and then it leaves through mattresses to go and support terrorist organizations, cause havoc in the world. So we are complicit in South Africa to allow terrorism to flourish, because we are funding it. And I had man visa for my friend. From today, I want them visa, if they're still around, those should still be around for the next few months, because we are going to get them out of this country. In the meantime, please call them my enemy. They're not your friends, they are your enemy. So can I ask you, please, from today, how am I gonna hide my enemy?
not my friend. My friend is someone who cares about your pride and the pride of your children. Call them my enemy because they are your enemies. So thank you so much for making the time. I'm here to support this initiative. When I saw it on one of the social WhatsApp groups last week, I phoned Mandla, I said, Mandla, I look at my diary, I'm available, am I invited? He says, Mr. Mashaba, you're most welcome to be here. And I am here to show my support and actually express my anger. I don't believe there's anyone in this country who's angry about this illegality than me. I don't know if there's a scale to measure someone's gender. I don't think any one of you will come any near me. At the most, I'm really very angry, and I challenge anyone. We can get someone who can measure the level of anger, and I'm angry because these people are causing so much harm in our communities. We can imagine all these shops if we're being run by our people. They're talking about what? 100 billion rands, 150 billion rands. You know, if this, you can imagine if this money was circulating in our communities. The shopkeepers employ our own people. I'm a living example of what starting business when EW Potter said I cannot start business. I started business at the age of 22. I said to pick up Blue Potter, who can control at the time black people in South Africa with roughly 30 million. I said, you can control this 30 black people if they are happy to be controlled. But this one, Herman Mashaba, you're not going to control. By the age of 22, I started a factory in Mabopane, manufacturing hair care products. With 30,000 rands lows, 200,000 square meters, rented factory. In 5 years, I'd already built in Mabopane. I'd already started my own construction company. I built a 6,000 square meter factory employing over 200 people in Mabopane before I reached 30 years. So it is possible. And I'm not a clever person. I'm just an ordinary South African. That is why on 1994, spent so much money to assist the ANC to drive a project to make sure that we can get as many black people to come out and vote as possible. Spend a lot of money on voter education for black people to go out and vote for the ANC. But Kiva, unfortunately, 30 years later, we won't pay. We're not paying, but we're going to get out of this mess because we are aware about it. And the future about why we're going to get out of this mess, because after 1994 would not have this gathering. Before 1994, within half an hour, only 10 of us would have been caspers and dogs and whatever our trees are away. Today, we like here is it, we've got the police protecting us. We live in a constitutional democracy, and we are going to exercise that democracy to ensure that we deal with evil in our country. So thank you so much for making the time. Let us go and register our dissatisfaction and our anger to this government, to be giving the memorandum to the city of Johannesburg. But ultimately, we want them to understand that we want this memorandum ultimately to land in the president's office, Cyril Ramaphosa, who knows about this people, and he's not saying, remember when he spoke about the registration, did he say anything about illegal foreigners running businesses in our country? Stayed away, never said anything. Not under President Cyril Ramaphosa. You know, yesterday when I was actually called by Metro FM about my reaction to this, you know what? God bless Cyril Ramaphosa. About like divine intervention, because honestly, Cyril Ramaphosa lives in a totally different world than one. Open up all not world. But one do for sure, because of our democratic dispensation we live under, let us go and register our dissatisfaction. I can tell you by now, millions of people are aware of this march. Millions of people are going to know about it in coming days. And this is just really the beginning. We are going to organize more and more marches, not only here in Soweto,
We are going to do it in other parts of Soweto. We are going to take it throughout the country, including Amanskraal, where I come from, where they are invading, taking over the houses of our people. They started taking over the cities. Now they're taking the villages over. I can tell you, and I always tell all these people in Valley Pilagodi Sabapulu, Barino, be xenophobic, watch the space. We're actually doing this for you because in 3 years down the line, your own homes in the south suburbs are going to go. You know how they take houses in town because they work with some people in the things. If they know there's a house they can take over, they hijack that house, make life difficult for the neighborhood, and people end up not being able to sell their houses. So I want people in the town, in the suburbs, those that actually think that they're safe because they are not affected. Soweto, Alexander, they don't care about you. It's good we are doing it for them as well. But we will start here in Soweto. So thank you very much. I think how the march is going to run, Senlo, you will give us the direction. Thank you so much, everyone. I really love you, and I hope that we succeed because this project is not about us. It's about the future of our children. Thank you so much.